Imagine standing on a stage in front of hundreds of people. All eyes are on you. It's your line. There's a split second of panic in your mind, but then it goes away because you know this line. Without a hitch, you deliver it. Sounds scary? Actually, it's fairly easy once you get the hang of it. Some may be familiar with this and some may not. You may be interested in performing or just learning how to remember information better. Having a process for learning lines and info is useful for more than performing. It's useful for learning songs, Bible verses, poetry, what have you. I've been performing since I was young, and this is how I memorize lines. And I hope some of you may find this process useful. Learning lines includes reading the play, walking around the room, knowing cues, performing before the show, and splitting up your lines. Let's go back to before you're standing on that stage when you first receive your script. The first step is the most important. Read the play and make sure you understand it. Ask the director about lines that you don't understand or that are oddly worded. Highlight your parts in the script as well. Reading through the script the first or second time is a good opportunity to do this. It prevents you from accidentally skipping lines or reading someone else's. Second step is to walk around the room or whatever space you have while saying the lines aloud. Say lines as you would during the performance, and it'll help you get a feel for how you want to play the role. Ask a friend, family member, or a cast member for help. They can read along and catch words that you skipped or emphasized wrong. It also helps you to learn how to use the space. Use the space appropriately as the audience and director would find acceptable. The third step is one of the hardest for me, but as important as knowing the lines. You have to know your cues. David Farmer of Drama Resource Station in London says, listen and think about what the other actors are saying. Don't just concentrate on what you have to say. React accordingly instead of just waiting for your line. Learn and be aware of the last words before or an event leading into your lines. This will be vital in learning the cues themselves. Fourth, you'll want to practice performing before you actually perform. You need to perform your parts of the play while learning your lines. Use any accents or intonations you would during the performance. The more you practice this way, the better the lines will stick in your head. You can do this step in the car on your way to work even. Wade Bradford of About.com states that he mastered all of his Shakespearean monologues driving back and forth on Highway 128. You could record the cast reading the script and perform along with that as well. Fifth is fairly crucial if you have a soliloquy or a long string of lines at once. Split them up. Memorize a few lines at a time. Break up longer sequences of speech into more manageable groups of lines. Learn the groups independently, then, once you're comfortable, put them all back together. Learning lines is important for anything that must be performed, from lines in a play to lines in a speech. Now you know that it involves making sure you understand them, practicing them a lot, and making memorization easier for yourself. If this still sounds difficult, don't worry. It takes practice to perfect memorization. Another important aspect is to make sure you're having fun. Performing in any capacity can be a very fun and creative outlet. Now that you have a process for learning lines, you can successfully perform for any type of crowd. You could be the next person who makes the papers for your wonderful performance or empowering speech.
Good, everybody.
Okay. Other way.
And then